Thank you for joining us for another episode of Cryptocurrent. Just one quick reminder. Cryptocurrent is a cryptocurrency and blockchain education platform that's bridging the gap between the curious newcomers who are just discovering the space and the thought leaders who are shaping its future. All opinions expressed by Richard Carthon, the Cryptocurrent team, and their guests on this show are exclusively their own opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Richard, the team, and their guests as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or to follow as financial advice. This show and any other Cryptocurrent production is exclusively for informational purposes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I have a very special guest all the way out in San Francisco working on a really cool finance project in the world of DeFi. I'm excited to learn more about. We have Parallel Finance. And today joining us, we have the founder, Yubo. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing absolutely great.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for joining us. Excited to learn more about everything you got going on overall at Parallel Finance. But before we do that, I want to learn more about you. Can you give us some background on yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a serial entrepreneur. I have started 3 companies in total over the last few years. The first time I was in high school, started a company that helped children with their financial habits. So we designed a smart physical piggy bank that connect to the internet, and then parents can send digital money to them. And then the company went well. It was acquired later on, and then I moved to US for college. And then I did computer science at Stanford University. However, I had too many ideas while studying. So I, in 2017, decided to drop out to start a crypto fund, which is a one of the early blockchain focused venture funds. We spent a lot of time to raise over $60 million and then invest into projects like Solana, Polkadot, Chia Network, Chainlink, a few others. And then at that time, I was around 20, 21. It was quite hard as an investor. And then so I decided to, once we basically finished deploying, I decided to go back to school to rejoin and then finish more courses. So I spent some more time on specifically, I know exactly what I want to learn. And I know that I wanted to start a sort of DeFi protocol. So then go back to learn. And then in 2021, roughly 2 months ago, I am fully prepared, and then so submit another dropout from to school, and then so started Parallel Finance.
All right, man. Quite the journey. So serial entrepreneur by heart, for real. At the young age, already done 3 startups and had some success with it. So you've been in crypto, went all in back in 2017, which is, pretty remarkable. And, getting to a point where you're able to raise a couple $1 million and then realize that, okay, now you want to focus on more the DeFi landscape and get the tools so that you can go and create that. Drop out again, and that brings us to today with Parallel Finance. So what was it about DeFi and creating a protocol that was calling to you? Like, why did you decide to go this route? Because, of course, in crypto, there's a ton of different directions you can go. And the fact that you decided to go in this direction, what led you this way?
I think there are a couple of things. First of all, I think that the DeFi space is the only way to bring financial inclusion to globe. Right? There are 1 billion plus people that are currently unbanked, and I think that it's not just because that they just can't do it, but I think we need to have a more open and then lower entry barrier financial system where DeFi can provide. Second of all, I think that the whole sort of DeFi and Web3 is the the biggest revolution that we can see in the next 10 years. Someone will build it. I wanted to participate and actually make it happen, even closer to our reality. And I think that specifically DeFi is the one of the first applications of this sort of blockchain smart contract tech. On top of it, people can start to have more complex applications to build on. For example, NFT stuff can be a social network, it can be marketplace, it can be anything. It depends on how sort of mature the blockchain technology are. But I think that we should follow the sequence, right? You don't want to build like mobile internet in 2000, right? You want to build mobile internet probably after 2010, right? When the 3G, iPhone, GPS technologies are there, right? But early internet, right? It makes more sense to provide basic information aggregation, social network and all that. So yeah. What I'm trying to say is DeFi is kind of like the early stage of basic information aggregation.
Right.
Information is money, right? But then when we're talking about things like social network or marketplace or purely Web3 related applications, it's more like a YouTube, where you really want to have a powerful computer and powerful browser to really run it, which I think we can build it a couple of years later. It doesn't have to be now.
Right.
And the parallel.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good segue and a really good illustration of what you're trying to accomplish. That if you look into the world of Web3 and to this on-ramp, it's allowing access to people, the unbanked, for people who are trying to get more financial security, for people who are also trying to take the power back to themselves and away from the traditional banking institutions. It allows more access and allows more of a free-flowing way for people to participate. With that, I mean, I agree with you that this is a really amazing and ideal place to be starting. And you also have the skills and the background to be able to go and create this thing. So now tell us about Parallel Finance. What is it? When did you create it? Which I think you just said 2021, but kind of walk us through what has happened over the last year.
Parallel Finance, we are a end-to-end DeFi, decentralized finance builder and provider. So essentially, people can borrow and lend, can trade and stake their cryptocurrency on our platform within one click. So currently, DeFi applications are designed for more technical savvy early adopters, where they actually have to switch different applications, different website, different wallets, and have to know the technical jargons and follow a very complicated step to finish a DeFi steps. For us, it would be more of using a app that a 5-year-old or 6-year-old grandpa can use, and then we put them all together, so you don't have to leave the website or the apps that we have, but then you do everything all in one, such that we can provide higher capital efficiency and simplicity to user. Over the last couple months that we started the company, we started 10 months ago. We had got over $500 million TVL, total value lock, which is sort of a matrix that evaluate how much sort of tractions does a DeFi protocol has. And we had over 60 plus employees on a company, and then we launched over 6 products in a specific blockchain called Polkadot first, and then we'll launch on ETH and then on other blockchain as well. We had a very successful fundraising previously. We raised over 30 million from top investors such as Sequoia Capital, Founders Fund, from Peter Thiel, Coinbase, Polychain, and a few others. So hope that answered the question.
No, it absolutely did. I mean, it just speaks to, one, the speed in which you're able to build this out, 2, the effectiveness of being able to bring this all together and have people be able to participate. I mean, the fact that you got to $500 million in total value locked for a DeFi protocol in a short amount of time that you did speaks to the value that you must be driving to the users of this, and then also the backings, your team, the fact that you're growing a team to 60 and you have really good advisors and investors that are in this speaks to the place that this is headed. And you said that you were able to create up to 6 different product lines that you have going on now. I kind of want to spend a moment there. Can you kind of speak to each of those product lines for us?
Yeah, so the first product will be a money market. So similar to the bank, you put money as a collateral and you can borrow money. You can use your cryptocurrency, any kind of currency to borrow, to as a collateral to borrow dollar, other cryptocurrencies for various reasons to use. Second product is the EMM, which stands for the sort of automated market maker. So you can swap any type of tokens that you want on the platform. Number 3 is the staking protocol, liquid staking protocol. So people can stake a specific currency to earn proof of stake yield. Usually this have a lockup period. It's not that liquid, and then it doesn't have optimized for the yield, but we do that all for the user. And then number 4 is a specific product for Polkadot, which is called auction loan or crowd loan. So people use our system to aggregate their sort of votes to support a specific pair chain to win. And then on the other hand, we provide them with liquidity and then superior return. Number 4, we had a cross-chain bridge to help the liquidity in between different chains. Number 5, we have a specific sort of farming capability that people can use to earn additional rewards through the platform usage. And then number 6 is something related to our DeFi products. So we design a specific apps that designed for like business clients, right? It's not for retail. They can manage their wallets through multiple owners. They can have access to better reporting. They can get access to advanced features such as stream payroll, right? They can get access to batch transfer and all that. So yeah.
No, that's great. I mean, those are 6 solid products, all of them very relevant and very helpful to the world of DeFi, especially to a lot of new people entering this space. Mm-hmm. One of the things I want to go back and revisit that you talked about through the beginning of this was how you started on the Cosmos ecosystem. I believe you're also in the Ethereum ecosystem. When you were making your decision on which ecosystem to be building on top of, what led you to go with these 2 ecosystems?
Yeah, so the first one we go after is Polkadot, and then the second one will be Ethereum. The idea here is that we want to take and dominate a niche market first. And then a lot of the customers share similar cryptocurrency holdings, and then so that we can cross-sell once we launch the second sort of product suite on the other blockchain. This way, it is one of the most efficient way to really increase the amount of users that use our platform, and then to have a local network effect. And then we use that effect to expand toward other network. Network effect is super important because you have to bring 2-sided users, right? People who provide liquidity, people wanted to trade or use, right? So once we have that, it's inherently becoming this sort of the advantage, right, over the platform, and then we can move on. Particularly, we choose Polkadot first is really because this market is very new, and then like near zero sort of good applications out there, and then people are waiting for solutions. And then the reason that we do is layer 2 first versus other alternative layer 1s or alternative blockchains is because the merge of Ethereum will happen sometime this year, and I think that will dramatically improve the usability and decrease the cost of layer 2. So as while more people transition to layer 2, applications are like, especially DeFi applications are in a necessity, right? People need to use it right away.
Right. And then thanks for the correction. Didn't mean to say Cosmos, definitely Polkadot. So as we're looking at, Polkadot as compared to some of these other layer 1s, it's fast. When the original, one of the original devs from Ethereum kind of broke off, was really good at Solidity, and then created this to kind of go with the shortcomings of Ethereum. And then, of course, it's interesting that your next was ETH2, which, as you said, are ETH layer 2, because Ethereum is the biggest blockchain. There's a lot of systems on it, but just as you know, gas is too expensive. And if they can't solve that challenge, it becomes really hard to do development on top of it and want to participate in some of the DeFi protocols that are out there. So by making it more affordable and still having the speed and do everything else with Polkadot as your main layer, I think that was a really cool call. And also think the Polkadot ecosystem will continue to evolve. As you look across your different products, for someone listening to this right now, they're like, oh my gosh, parallel finance sounds amazing. How can I participate? So if someone were to come on and try to participate in parallel finance, what are some of the first products that they'll be able to use?
Mm-hmm. Well, so as I said, like the top six products they can use right away, right now on the Polkadot space. Within 3 months, you can use the same, pretty much similar 6 products, which we actually make a lot of changes on the eSpace, adjust to the local network and then optimize for different returns and then all that. Then people can use that as well. And then we will make a uniform interface that people can use and get in. So examples I want to give is more like Netflix. When you watch a movie, then you go in and then select whatever you want to use on the menu. Let's say I wanted to stake my stuff, right? Then you click on one place. Now I wanted to borrow some money. Sure, you can borrow money. And then the funny thing is, because if you have liquidity on both chain, now you can, through our platform, aggregate them, and then you get access to sort of cross margin and better liquidity. And those are all sort of newer features that we can sort of provide later on.
Which is great. You're getting to blend all of these and having typically to get access to these different types of these 6 products that you speak of, you have to go to a lot of different places. You don't get to like have them nice and buttoned up into one ecosystem and one platform that wraps it all together. And I know that you're aware of this. And I know that there's probably even more products that you probably have in the pipeline that you're going to bring into the future to keep adding more of these elements together. But for someone who is either brand new or for someone who's just starting their journey into the DeFi space, why is it beneficial to start this journey with parallel finance as opposed to going to some of the other DeFi protocols that are out there?
Yeah, so depends on what chain you're on. Let's say that you are a DeFi new user, that you have Polkadot tokens, and then you have asset on the DOT ecosystem. Then perfect. This is the only place and then one of the best places that you can play all of your financial demands, right? That you can solve all of your financial demands. One of the simple reasons that we started is really because there's not good solutions out there on the markets, especially in the Polkadot space. And we make it super intuitive and it's super simple to use. And then if you're an ETH holder that you want to do DeFi, unfortunately you cannot do it today, but wait for 3 months, we'll launch there and then you can use it right away. And then the benefit at that time is that we already had significant amounts of attractions, which will be much more than what we have right now. Plus the better optimized applications and sort of the newer experience and better liquidity that we can provide. I think that would be the main benefits. Again, like our whole mission is to bring DeFi to 1 billion people. And the way that we think that is to make it dramatically simple that a 5-year-old kids can use. Plus, make it extremely capital efficient so that people can make more money, right? Or higher yield to pay less fee. And that's all critical for us to make the customer more happy, which we have to be obsessed with. So
for sure. And, having the customer end user as the primary focus as you build out product and having that in focus typically makes the best products, right? It helps with onboarding. It helps with mass adoption. It helps with also referrals, right? If someone comes in and has an amazing experience, that's how you got to get that compound effect of more and more people going out, sharing the good gospel of parallel finance and all the amazing things and products that you have to help their money make more money. Now, to kind of change gears just for a second, when you take a step back from everything that's going on in the DeFi landscape, another big thing that's out and about that a lot of people are aware of is the NFT space. I believe that there are some things in plan potentially for the future to be able to address that space as well. Can you kind of speak to that?
Yeah, so NFT is one of the hottest topics in the whole crypto space in the last pretty much 12 months. And then you've seen NFT grow from nearly zero to 20 billion market cap, as an asset class, right? So there's thousands of NFT out there and millions of holders. What I wanted to say is that NFT, to be honest, is not just NFT that people can issue and hold it, but NFT is actually a great asset that you can mingle with DeFi. You can mingle with finance, right? So simple examples that what we are trying to provide is first, if you have a high quality blue chip NFT, you can use it as a collateral on our platform to borrow money, to get access to credit line, to get access to solve your short-term liquidity demands, right? On the other hand, if you don't need to use your NFT for a period of time, then sure, put it onto our platform as well. What we can do for you is that you can actually rent it out for people who needed the NFT for a specific point of time, similar to Airbnb, right? Why would people want NFT? A couple of reasons. One, airdrop, right? Sometimes you get a lot of airdrop by holding it. Second, you share royalty, points. Third, you might have some other economic benefits. And then going on, you can be able to show as a profile, you can be used as in the game to get utility. And there's plenty of utility for NFT. So in order to bridge the supply and demand of the utility versus the time demand, right? We can create this sort of marketplace as well for the rental side. And so that's where we're really interested. And I think those two are the biggest missing components of the NFT space, plus with finance. And second of all, I think that this is something we are planning to provide on top of the DeFi protocol, and that will make us very unique, which is kind of bridging the two ecosystem where people in the DeFi space build DeFis, in the NFT space build NFTs, but like how can we build all of them into one platform is something we're very interested in.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what y'all do with it, because I agree. There's a lot of value in these NFTs, just like you said with the blue chips, that there should be a way where you can collateralize your NFT. Like, especially if it's just going to be sitting there, you have zero ambition on selling anytime soon. But if you want a short-time loan to be able to use some of that money as collateral to either go invest, reinvest, or do whatever, and then pay it back and then let your money keep appreciating, I haven't seen a strategic way to be able to do that just yet. So if that's something that's in the pipeline, I think that's going to be something I know I'm interested in. I'm sure a lot of other people are interested in as well. So I'm going to keep my eye out on that. But, Yubo, this has been a really, really great and fun conversation. I always like to wrap up with a couple of fun questions as we get towards the end of the interview. And one of the ones I like to pose is, as you kind of like look at the greater ecosystem of crypto, as we are in early 2022 of the crypto landscape, when you look back, now it's the year's now 2023, and we've just finished the year of 2022. And when people look back, they're going to say, this is the year of X. So what do you think X will be? Do you think it'll be the year of DeFi, of NFTs, of metaverse? Like, what do you think that's going to be?
This year probably going to be the year of NFT and metaverse. Yeah, I think NFT is the one that really bring sort of mass adoptions or attentions out of the crypto space at this moment, which I think will continue.
Yeah. Okay. And I tend to agree, man. When I think of the gateway drug to crypto right now, a lot of people used to think it was going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, or the quick, like, here's how you can make a ton of money really quickly using this thing called crypto. But instead, people are flocking to NFTs, and to on-ramp to get to that space, there's actually a lot of things you have to do, like to get some basic knowledge in crypto to be able to participate in purchasing and getting these NFTs. So I think that's going to be what gets a lot more people in the door. And then once they're there, they're like, oh, well, let me learn about this other things in crypto, like DeFi, right? And then I think that's when we start to shift into DeFi. I don't know, not DeFi summer of 2020, but like that on steroids as we probably go into like 2023 or 2024. But that's my hot take. Take it for what it is. We'll see what happens, everybody. But for my next question for you, with all the information that you have right now, as you've been able to learn, through your 3 startups and through just your first 10 months of working on parallel finance, if you could take all this knowledge right now and impart 1 or 2 pieces of wisdom to yourself when you first got started on parallel finance, what would you tell yourself?
I think one of them will be think twice. Well, yes, basically, I think twice before you make a very big decision, but also think faster when you are making a smaller decisions. I think the timing of decision making is actually an art, and it's very interesting. And then the piece of advice here will be think about what are something that can mostly impact the efficiency of the whole company. One of them is obviously you can do everything yourself, or second of all, you can hire people, right? So based on my experience so far, building the world-class team that help you achieve the mission is more efficient than doing everything yourself. So I would say that, with currently we have 60 people, but if we start to scale the team, we might have, 120 people at this moment. So yeah, I think that would be a super small piece of advice for myself if I'm, looking back.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think those are two solid things to remember. So everyone listening, go run that back. And especially if you're building your own business in this space, two helpful tidbits. But as we wrap up here, again, I appreciate all the information you've shared so far, but what is a final thought that you want to leave with everyone listening today?
I think that one more thing is that I think, to be honest, the crypto space need talent. And then either join a crypto company or started a crypto company. And I think that everyone deserves to start at least like one startup in their life. Just try it out. Maybe it's not your thing, but who knows? Maybe you love it. I tried it out. I love it.
Right. No, I think that's a great final thought for everyone listening. If you're not involved in the crypto space, find a way, right? And even if you can potentially find a career, it's a great space to be in. People are constantly hiring. People have budgets, and you're part of a really fun environment. I think that the crypto community is very welcoming, very warm, wants you to succeed, and are very eager. And there's a lot of like good energy here. So if it's something you're interested in, make sure you go check that out. I mean, I'm sure you can speak to that just with hiring the 60 people you have at this point.
Yeah, totally. I think it's fun, it's open, and then everyone learn from each other. And there's great culture. So I think that is what really attracts a lot of the smartest people in the space.
For sure. Well, again, thanks for all the information. If people want to connect with you and learn more about Parallel Finance, what are some ways that they can do that?
I think they can go to Parallel website, parallel.fi, or they can follow me on Twitter. That'll be the best way to connect.
Okay, perfect. And we'll make sure to share that information in the show notes. Well, again, thank you so much for spending time with us. And for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent.